How is there size specifications for a Bothy?
No.
No, there's not. It can
No,
be
no,
any
it's
size.
just, yeah.
Have you ever seen a big Bothy? What's the biggest Bothy you've seen?
I don't know. I don't know.
I've not seen many Bothys. Hello, my name's Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
And this is our tasting channel and we're trying some whiskey today. So what we're trying, I was going to ask you what we're trying, but I've got it here. You can tell us more about it.
We're trying Arran Quarter Cask.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of Arran Lochranza Distillery. But yeah, it's in the north of the island. Arran is known as Scotland in miniature because the Highland boundary fault runs right through the middle of the island. And this is in the Highlands. They do have another distillery down at Lag now, which is going to be like the opposite of this. So this is all like nice and light and fruity and sparkly, whereas the one on the south of the island at Lag is going to be all like heavily peated and heavy and earthy, like the total opposite.
I've never been. I'd love to go though. I've been to Arran when I was like 5, but obviously I wasn't drinking much whiskey then at the very least.
No, not much.
Not single malts by then. A blend or two, but no single malts. So.
But yeah, Lochranza Distillery, it was opened in 1995.
Cool, because it's one of the newer.
So would it have been there when you were there then? One of the quiz questions we often do in some of our like island whiskey tasting is what animal appeared at the official opening, and it was eagles soaring above. So the eagle is their, or was their little logo on their bottle, which is pretty cool.
And they've rebranded recently, or
they
this
have,
year,
yeah. I actually quite like. I wasn't sure of the rebranding.
Was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Time flies by. I like their rebranding. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think their bottles are like the coolest ones to use as water bottles afterwards as well. Yeah, so this used to be known as the Bothy. So a quarter cask is, so it was known as the Bothy, I think because it's a weir cask and a Bothy is wee. I've made that bit up. But I think it's because, so a weir cask, a quarter cask was the more traditional way of maturing your whiskey when you were illicitly distilling in your Bothy in the hills. And so more wood contact, so it'll get a more intense flavour more quickly. So I do think, like, when I last tried this, I found it was like more like sweeter and more intense, but also more spicy.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that when we tried it last time. What's the biggest Bothy you've seen?
I don't know. I don't know.
I've not seen many Bothys.
You could get a Bothy that you'll go and stay in the hills that like you've walked to or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can also get like a Bothy like in a big house's garden that like the gardener or whatever lived in.
Right,
or like
right,
someone
right.
that lived on a like farm workers.
So it's kind of, it's an
and that would be probably like
different descriptions,
yeah,
though, so it could be quite a large.
So like you would get like the stables, and then attached on the side would be the Bothy, and that would be like it would only be big enough for like a bed and a fire.
Yep.
So yeah, tiny. Cool. I don't think you can get a big Bothy. That's like pineapple-y.
It's really pineapple. I wouldn't have picked that myself, but you're totally right. Pineapple.
Like already quite like sparkly,
roasted pineapple or something like that. It's got a burnt flavour, like, but not burnt, like caramelised sugar.
A wee kind of nutty note as well, but like that some like a small nut, like a light nut, like
a small nut covered in cinnamon and sugar. I think that's quite cinnamony. Do you get any cinnamon?
Yeah, a wee bit.
And it's quite nutty now. You say that, like quite peanutty actually, which is not.
I was gonna say that, but that's not a thing you would normally see in whiskey.
No, definitely not.
That's why I said a small nut,
which is a peanut. It is one of the smaller nuts.
It's not. It's actually a pea.
Is it?
A peanut is a legume.
Wow, I feel like you've maybe told me that before.
Flange. Quite peppery.
It's quite spicy, but I really like it.
I always think Arran has like a kind of pepperiness.
Like all up the front as well.
Like sparkly.
Down the back of the sides of your tongues as well.
So no, like they have like a really pure water source, and they have like a really short fermentation time, I think, which is quite unusual.
Really? Right.
I don't know if that makes it more like, I feel like that would make it more like concentrated.
Short fermentation.
Like short fermentation. Do you want to try a wee drop of water in that?
Yes, I feel like I should have one more sip or.
Oh, maybe me too.
It's quite like bourbony and tropical.
It is very tropical.
Peaches.
I get so much pineapple.
Or apricot.
I've lost the cinnamon now.
56.2. I get lots of cinnamon in that one.
Cask strength, this one, yeah.
It's a lot more vanilla smelling with the water.
It's oddly thin. I find this one quite thin.
I find it quite viscous.
Oh, that's weird.
I love that.
It's so tasty. It's so much flavour in one wee sip.
I'm not usually like each to their own with distilleries. It's just genuinely like your taste, because people go on about Arran 10 quite a lot, and it's not one I felt like, I wouldn't say no to it, but it's not one I found particularly like memorable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just think it's a really good like standard dram.
See it.
It reminds me of being there though.
That is
so
all
that's,
memories.
yeah.
Like I would take like a lot of other like entry level ones before that one. But I think that's really, really nice. That's really my taste, like salted caramel, sweetness and tropical fruits and kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like some kind of like tropical chewy sweet, I think.
I don't mean to start like a controversy war about how good Arran 10 is. I'm just subjectively saying that it's not one I've tasted and gone, oh, I love that, but maybe I tasted it in the wrong setting as well. I can't
it's
remember when I tried
also
it.
one though that lots of people go there, and lots of people have been going to Arran like their whole life, so it's like very like
memories and
and when you taste it, like when I taste it, it just reminds me of being there in the autumn time when you're cold and you have this like spicy wee dram that just like warms you up.
Yeah, definitely. Nice and excited to try lag. Have you tried their new mixed spirit?
I've tried their new mixed spirit. It's really good. It's different from that. It's not got like the pepperiness. It's much more like, it's quite viscous, but nicely peated, like warmly peated.
And they're gonna make Macrimura there, aren't they? That's the plan.
Yeah. So Lochranza currently make their peated one. They were making their peated one Macrimura, and it was just like a little bit peated. They did make like a heavily peated one. I think that they were originally going to sell when they casked it, but now, so they did that before they knew they were going to have a distillery at Lag, and then when they decided to build a distillery down at Lag and they remembered that they had this heavily peated whiskey at Lochranza, they thought, well, let's sell that down at Lag while they wait for their whiskey to mature.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, they're doing, I think it's called Macrimura Fingles Cut.
Nice.
And it's really good. They do a sherry cask and I think it's a quarter cask actually.
But they're did you say they're moving all production, all the PT?
They're moving all the PT stuff down to Lag. Yeah, so it means they can both concentrate on their own.
Yeah, definitely.
Their own different flavour profiles.
I love that. I think the quarter cask is delicious. Love that whiskey.
Really good.
Really good. Thanks.
Really good. I know I said that at the end of every video. It's really good.
It's really good. Everyone's really good. I'm like, it's whiskey.
I know we should do a video on, are there any whiskies you don't like? We'll leave that for another day.
Yes, there is. I just have not done a video on them. I almost
Maybe we should. That'd be fun actually, we'll do that. But yeah, join us next Sunday for another dram tasting. Cheers. Flange. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. You can catch us on social media as well at The Grail Tastings. Flange, and see you next time.
No, I think Bothy's are meant to be small.
Yeah.
By default.
Or might be a house.
Well, I don't know whose hair that was, but it came into my eye.
Did you say
almost.
by defunct?
By defunct? I don't know, did I?
You did. By default, did you
By
mean?
default, by default.
A defunct Bothy.
That Bothy is too large.
Yep.
It is
It
a
would just
small
become
house.
a house, yeah.